Try and guess our top 10. If you guess one of our top 10, I'll send you a motherfucking shirt.
Who's going to pay for that?
I'll pay for it.
Wait, hold on. If they guess the whole top 10?
Nah, just one of ours. But that doesn't have to be in order, but you have to guess our top 10.
What up, guys? Jungle Beats. We're doing our honorable mentions of 2017.
Woo!
Honorable mention albums we always do to prelude the top 10.
Exactly.
We're talking about what defines an honorable mention album for us.
I think what defines it is you still have a general love for the album, potentially, or you have a general either love for the sound, love for what they're talking about. Yeah. Like, so you still enjoy the project, be it in full or be it in parts, but you find that it's enough that you've listened to it or enough that you love it that you can put it in there, but it's not obviously enough to be a top 10.
Right.
If we forget something especially that you liked, we didn't put in there, I'd actually like for you to put it in the comments, and if I have time, I'd love to get to it because it's been a busy year for us, so I haven't had as much time as last year to get to music.
100%.
Like, I've missed a lot of music this year. So, like, prime example, we joined a Lucas's album. I didn't get a chance to go to that. Also, I think there was a few, like John Wayne's rap album part 2. Didn't get a chance to go to that. So there's a lot of albums that I really wanted to get to, but I just didn't get to because either I was too invested in another album or I just was too busy. So I apologize once again.
Same. Do you want to just go back and forth?
Let's go back and forth.
You want to start?
All right, I'll start. Jaden Smith Syre.
Ooh, that's really interesting.
The reason for that is because it didn't have enough time to sit with me.
Fair enough.
But I really like the album. I like it. I love it start to finish.
I'm surprised because we reacted so viscerally to that album. Like, we're in.
Oh yeah, I was in there. I loved it. And but the thing is though, just because it's so close to the end of the year, instead of continually listening to that album, it was so close to the end that I was just revisiting a lot of other albums just to find what I really loved the most. So I feel like it just came at a time where it was just a little too late. Like, I've still listened to it probably 3 times after that and still loved it every listen through there.
Yeah.
But when I look back and go through everything, I was just like, man, these other albums I've listened to 20, 30 times more, and I've just built such a rapport with that album that it's just...
Fair enough.
So that's why James Smith Syre's there.
All right. Well, Syre has a mixed response between a lot of people. You know, some people really love it. It's like one of the best albums of the year for them. Some people just like, this is very average.
Yeah.
Or you're in Fantano's camp, and you just like to shit on Mr. Smith. I got to shout out Pink Season.
Oh man, see, I didn't even have that on mine. I saw it and I was just like, nah, it was whack.
I just got to give it a general respect and a general thank you because without it, you know, we would be here, but we wouldn't be here at the same time.
We would be here, but we wouldn't have as big a fan base as what we have.
And this type of fan base, you know. So just respect to Pink Eye, respect to George Miller. He made a very
fun and wacky album.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I got CyHi, The Princess No Dope on Sundays.
Okay, I have that as well. So when we have similar ones, I'll just say I got that as well.
Yeah, that's it. The reason I got it there is we did it quite a little bit ago. We should have the reaction coming out soon.
It should be out right now.
It'll be out right now.
It's out now.
And there was probably a few tracks I didn't like, but overall, a very solid project. And I have gone back to it already, and there's definitely tracks where I'm just like, damn, like the one with Pusha T and Kanye West. So I feel like he's got a good amount of bangers, the sort of middle ground, and some softer, like real story tone tracks. So I think it's definitely an album I'm going to go back to a fair bit.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a long album, just didn't sit with me as well as the other top 10 albums. So, you know, just needs more time and more maturity, and just not that big of a fan of CyHi because I don't have a lot of his work.
Oh yeah, he hasn't really released much, so.
Kacy Hill, Like a Woman. Are you familiar with Kacy Hill?
No, I'm not familiar.
Kacy Hill, I learned about her from Good Music. She used to be signed to Good Music. I think she is still, correct me if I'm wrong. She's been a lot of features with the Good Music team, including Kanye, Pusha, and she just has a very angelic, soft, light voice. If you do like the softer, more melodic kind of music, I'd definitely check out her music, Like a Woman. It's a really nice body of work. Yeah, it's pretty.
Nice. I got Wu-Tang Clan's The Saga Continues.
Fuck. I didn't even listen to that.
It's all good because a lot of, I know that like, did you grow up in an age where you listened to a lot of Wu-Tang?
No.
So that's where I think it's fine though, because I grew up in an age where I listened to a lot of Raekwon, I listened to a lot of Ghostface, listened to a lot of RZA, Method Man.
Yeah,
so
I missed that.
So the good thing about this album is it's entirely produced by Mathematics, who did a lot of their older stuff. So the old sound is there with a little bit new incorporated. So I feel like 75-80% of this album production-wise is like really amazing. And even the bars there are still good. I think Ray is like not as good as it used to be, but Ghost is still really good. Inspector Deck is great, but I think he only had one verse in this thing. Method Man was amazing on this thing. Yeah, just from the members that were on there, because not everyone was on there, but from the ones on there, it was like definitely their best album in a while. So I really liked it.
All right. This one's probably going to be in your top 10, but I have Vince Staples, Big Fish Theory.
Did you say it's going to be in my top 10?
I think it's going to be in your top 10.
Okay. I can tell you're trolling or not. I was like, surely you're trolling. FYI, didn't like it. Didn't even make honorable mentions, but fair enough.
Didn't even make your honorables.
Why would it?
Because Vince was doing something.
Oh, no.
He was experimenting with something different.
See, I get that. I respect that. I just know. I love and respect that he did that because I love when artists do it. I just didn't like the sound at all. But the love and respect is still there because, don't get me wrong, he's a talented motherfucker and I still fucking love him.
Right. He's prolific and I just have to put him in there because he continues to reinvent his sound and himself each and every time so far. And just based on a respect and admiration thing for the artist.
Yeah. I got XXXTentacion 17.
So do I.
I thought it was a really brave and daring album because he's always done something different. And as much as he's getting a lot of hits and he might be up for a lot of time in jail at the moment, as much as that might be fighting with me in the way that I view him, I still think that album deserves praise because I think it's quite incredible. Yeah.
It's quite melodic, soft, vulnerable, honest. And a lot of people like to now love to hate him. And just looking from a music standpoint, it's a nice body of work. And it tells a interesting story.
Yeah.
Vic Mensa, the autobiography. I'm not a huge fan of Vic. I don't really sit with the autobiography. I didn't enjoy this as much as I did a lot of other albums. But thinking back, like trying to think, what did we think of it upon listening? I just thought it was good. Just good.
I think we enjoyed more the storytelling than anything else. I think the storytelling is what killed us the most. But I think there were definitely some beats, and there was definitely some filler tracks like Coffee and Cigarettes, where it just sort of you'd be like, So I can understand why they'd be there for sure.
Go ahead.
All right, I got Logic's Everybody.
So do I.
Once I said before, if it didn't have the in-between preachy long fucking chats, it would be in my top 10 because I personally believe that every track on this album is incredible and it would be top 5 material if that wasn't there.
Wow.
Because every track on this album is amazing, and like tracks to go from like Black Spider-Man to the powerful 1-800 to Inkblots to everybody. It's like these, like every track on here is so incredible. The production by No ID is fucking phenomenal, but just the chats in between fucking ruin it for me. And I've said that.
You want to tell them that you actually edited out all of the...
Yeah, I basically did my own version where I edited out all the talking, which people could get angry for, but it fucking just ruins it for me. And I can listen to it now, and it's pretty much classic to me because of that.
It is... I don't know. Yeah, and the storytelling on it is great, though. The way...
Oh, I just love the way he delivers his message, man.
The way he delivers his message, and I actually don't mind the talking a little bit, because I like how he does, especially on the Credible True Story, how he loves and he had Neil deGrasse Tyson commentating it. I actually like that. I think it was a bit too much, though. Joey Badass, All American Badass. Very cohesive project. We listened to this in Abbey Road studio, and we both enjoyed it quite a bit. This is the first full project I've heard from Joey. Haven't gone back to it much, but I respect and admire. What was he? It was really like politically charged and race charged.
I think that's the reason I like the album more so. It's because of, for someone his age, tackling what he's talking about.
He's like 20 or something.
He's like 21 or something now. But like, yeah, I loved his message all over this thing. I think the problem for me was it was just a bit too poppy. And for someone that's really invested in his real old school 90s sound signature, like I still love that he's trying something new, as we were talking about before with different artists, but I didn't really like a lot of the album production wise. But him all over there, rapping wise, he raps his ass off, Joey. I don't know, he's fucking killing it. I've got Smino's Black Swan.
Who's that?
Smino's an R&B singer from Chicago, I'm pretty sure. And it was just beautiful. Basically, the sound that he has on his album is a sound that's very prevalent.
Prevalent in like modern...
Yeah. Like it's very, like, it's just, it's kind of everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, makes
like,
sense.
and I just listened to it. I remember hearing 2 singles and then being like, I'm gonna check out the album, and it's real fucking smooth. He's got such a sexy voice, but just in a range, it's like super smooth. So shout out that album, it's really good.
Cool, Smino. Freddie Gibbs, You Only Live Twice.
Got that as well.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't long enough to be in top 10 material because I feel like start to finish it's really good.
It's close. It's probably like a top 15 for me. Honestly, yeah. I really enjoyed it. I love Freddie's delivery. I've always loved his kind of his aggression, his tone of the way he raps has always resonated with me. FIFO had it in one of his favourite albums of the midway point of 2017, which I thought was interesting. I can definitely see the potential of how it's in some people's top 10.
But I can also understand where I just feel like because, everything that happened overseas, how he was kept in the country, he couldn't get out, I feel like he rushed it too much. He probably wanted to get on top of that straight away, but I also feel like that if he took his time for just a bit of extra time and then maybe added like a few more tracks or maybe like
refined it
a little bit, I think that it could have been a lot greater than what it was.
Okay.
Like he could have given himself another year to work on this, I think, and it would have made it something really great. Like I think it's still a great album, but yeah, it just left me wanting more.
That's what you want though, in some ways.
That is very
That's what
true.
Artists want.
I got Drake's More Life.
Yeah, I didn't even put that in there, but I feel like, I was going to put it in there, yeah.
Because it's definitely, because I'd always go back to it. It's, as a start to finish album, I really went back to it for that reason. But whenever I went back to it, I'd kind of skip through and go through. But the thing about it, every time I went back to it, I'd go to different tracks.
Yes.
And that
really interesting.
And that is why it's here. I kept growing a love for like, I'm really fucking with the more slower tracks right now, or I'm really hitting with like the harder ones. Like Blem, or I can go back to like Passion Fruit, or I can go back to like...
Portland.
Yeah, Portland was my favourite track in that album, hands down. Whenever that comes on, I lose my shit. That was the best track on that album. But yeah, I like I said, the reason it's on there is because I go back to it and always for different tracks, and that's definitely a reason to put it in.
Can't wait till he releases more music, man.
Woo!
Always want more from Drake, man.
I'm the same, man. Drake is... A lot of people hate on him, but he's amazing.
He puts on fucking amazing performances too. Big KRIT, Forever is a mighty long time. But I do like most of the tracks on here, and I do enjoy them to a relatively good degree. But I don't know. Just doesn't hit me as much as some of the other projects that released this year. It's really that simple. It just didn't resonate with me as much, and I haven't listened to it that often either.
I got Daniel Caesar's Freudian. I only got onto this probably 2 months ago, but it's been out from very early in the year. And I got on it through Eleftherios' Delivery Boy. And beautiful album. Start to finish, his voice is so soulful. This is an album that he put in the bedroom. Like, it's just incredible.
Diced Pineapple?
It is. Diced Pineapple, 100%. It's incredible.
You got to link me it.
I got to link you it. And that's what I got to say in that. Because like I said, I've only been listening to it recently. But I feel like if I listened to this early in the year, it could have made top 10. That's how powerful it is.
An album that you learned to love, I'm about to mention. You originally didn't like as much, now you loved. Gold Link, At What Cost? Gold Link, I love him. He's a great artist. He could be huge if he just hits it. If he has just one song that just really pops and gets it to another level, it could be huge.
I think the right features as well.
Yeah, they can really catapult him. So I hope he does. At What Cost is bouncy, it's fun, it storytells. You've illustrated to me of how it storytells a different...
The go-go culture within America when the black people first came there.
Right, which I didn't pick up at the first and until he told me, so I definitely respect that. It's good, just not great.
I've got King Cruel's The Ooze. Not really hip-hop in a way, but I've been listening to it so much that it deserves a mention. The reason it's not probably higher up in the top 10 is because it was quite heavy with the track list, so I probably go back there for half to 3/4 of it. But that ones I go back to, I've been going back to day to day to day for like the past month or two. So a very incredible artist with an amazing sound.
JID, The Never Story.
I got this too.
I only discovered JID from attending J. Cole's live performance. JID was one of the openers. I was probably one of the best supporting acts I've ever seen. JID did a freestyle, he just spat, just no beat, just went. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And then he was doing, he did, is it the song called Never, Never Had Shit, Never Did Shit, Never...
Yeah.
Is that the song called Never?
I can't remember.
Whatever that song is called, I think it is called that.
And then it has a beat switch up halfway through it as well.
that's a ridiculous track. He did that live. I'm like, all right, I got to check it out. The Never Story's great. It probably could be top 10 material if I listened to it 6 months ago.
Do you want to know where it is for me? It's number 11.
Oh, see, there it is.
It's number 11. It just missed out. And the only reason that I missed out is because I only got into JD the last month. So, like, I downloaded the album when it came out, but I didn't get into it until this month. Month.
When did it release?
I think like July-ish? July-ish. And I've been listening to it non-stop the past 2-3 weeks. Non-stop.
It's so good.
But once again, when I stood it up to other projects and listened to a lot more, it didn't make it. But 11, it just missed out. So I'm sorry, man. Damn. Gabe Nundes, Plax. A lot of people are like, who the fuck's Gabe Nundes? I found this guy randomly through SoundCloud, and I checked out 3 of his earlier projects, and he has such a beautiful, he has a very underground sound, definitely a bit more MF Doom inspired, and this album was just like, it was just just a joy. I love his sound, I love the way that he uses his vocals.
Who does he remind you of?
It reminds me of MF Doom, definitely. And then maybe like, he has like a real deep voice, and his beats loop a lot, but they have like just really cool samples, so I just really fucked with that album.
I got 2 more.
Okay, I got like 10 more.
Alright, Jesus.
So I'll just zone through them.
Jhene Aiko, Trip.
Mm-hmm.
I've only started listening to this probably twice. About a week ago, it released quite a while ago, or last month. But I love Jhene. Jhene Aiko, Trip. I'm a big fan of Jhene. I love all the past projects. She's a beautiful performer live. And I just started getting into this project, so I just wanted to put it there to pay respect to her. It's very long though, but from what I've seen, it looks like she's storytelling a really interesting story about more of her life that we haven't seen. So, Jhene Aiko.
It's an album I didn't even get to. Didn't even get to Jhene. I'm sorry, Jhene.
I'd also like to marry her. So, Jhene, call me. No, she knows. She follows me on Twitter. She knows who I am.
So does everyone, man.
Everyone? Everyone follows me on Twitter.
No, everyone wants to fucking marry her. Everyone wants to be inside her, bro.
Oh, damn it.
She's probably getting married to Sean soon anyway. Fuck. Have some weird-ass, short-ass kids, but you know, it's how it be. I got Johnny Polygon, and the album doesn't have a name. Johnny Polygon's a rapper from Oklahoma, and everything he makes at the moment, he releases purely through his website just for his fans, and you can't get it anywhere else. So basically, he hit me up on Facebook, and it's like, I've got this new album out. Do you want to buy it? I'm like, fuck yeah. I've listened to it a lot this year. It would probably maybe be top 10 if it had a bit more exposure. But yeah, shout out to Johnny Polygon. It was an incredible album.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
He's the homie. Oh yeah.
Last one.
Shit.
Injury Reserve, Drive It Like It's Stolen.
Oh, that's on mine as well. I got that too.
Injury Reserve continue to, once again, like Vince Staples, reinvent themselves, create a new sound, and challenge themselves. And they've continued to do that project from project to project. There's one artist you should check out on this honorable mention list from me. It's Injury Reserve. Watch the review. Drive It Like It's Stolen is short, succinct, cohesive, and
I really enjoyed it.
Well put together.
I got Mick Jenkins and So The Anxious.
Oh yeah.
Which we just did, but once again, haven't had too much time to ingest it, but I've listened to it probably 3 or 4 times afterwards. I fucking love the production of this thing. I love Mick on this thing. It is incredible.
So now it's all you now, baby.
It's all me now. So I got a bit to go through. I got a guy called Urban Zay, who not many people know about, but he hit me up on Facebook randomly, and I was like, because I didn't even know him, and he said, "This is my music." And you know how people reach out with your music and you don't expect it to be good? This guy's fucking good. He's got a mixtape called Caution. It's like 6 tracks. It's fucking flames. This guy's rad. So shout out Urban Zay. I've got a Amine Good For You.
Oh yeah.
This is an album that at first I didn't like really at all, and over time I gradually loved 3/4 of the album. I go back to it. I went back to it yesterday. Whenever I'm in like a bad mood, if I'm not awake, I go to it and it makes me so happy.
That's great.
So that's why I love that album so much.
Nice.
Denzel Curry's 13 EP, short EP, 5 tracks, but fucking heavy, fucking bangs like fuck.
I should have put that in there.
I love Denzel Curry. I love this EP, and I think it was a great teaser in between Imperial and his next album. Very smart move from him. Got Brockhampton 1, 2, and 3. See, this is where I think you'd be surprised. Yeah, I want to hear the reason. Brockhampton 1, 2, and 3. I've been listening to mostly the first 2 a lot. Listen to this thing a fuck ton, but the thing about why they're not going to be in my top album is because I don't like them for albums. I like them for tracks. 1, 2, and especially 3, start to finish, there's always 2, 3, or 4 tracks which don't resonate with me. So I still fuck with a majority of all these albums, but not enough that it can be a favorite for me. That's purely why it's there. Like, there's definitely they're probably one of my favorite groups of the year that I've been following, but they just haven't put through an album.
I guess it's not real cohesive as an album. It's really just them putting a bunch of dope tracks out. They're not really telling a story as an album.
That's what it is. Like, they're very silly a lot of the time. But yeah, I just feel like that I can imagine them really working more together, if so, and really putting together a project that I would actually genuinely love start to finish. Because I feel like that they're just pushing so much music out and it's more like they're enjoying it more, which is still fucking awesome.
All right.
So I got Brockhampton there.
That's a dark horse right there.
Yeah. Scissors Control.
Oh yeah.
This was I think this got like in my top 15. To start with, I was a little indifferent towards it because it did have a bit more of a pop appeal to it. But the more I listened to it, the more I really loved the sound. I think that the sound all over this thing is really beautiful. Scissors vocals, phenomenal. The features did their thing. Definitely deserves a mention. I got Alex Wiley's Village Party 3, Stoner Symphony. This got number 12. So this like just missed out as well. If people know, I fuck with Alex Wiley. He's in my top 10 artists of all time. He's been with me for a long time through listening, and this album was dope. He also did another album this year called Cynthia Part 1. So 2 albums this year, both really good, deserve to mention. Got Reggie Snow, The Moon and You. I'm pretty sure this guy's from Ireland. I could be wrong. But he hadn't released an album for a long time, and he released it this year. It's very experimental with his vocals as much as the production. And I think it deserved to mention. It was very fun.
Any more?
Yeah, got 6 more. Rock Marciano, Rosebud's Revenge.
Yeah.
I listened to this quite a lot early during the year because I loved the samples over this thing. But as the year drew on, I kind of distanced myself away from that sort of form of hip hop. Because I find that in the early of the year, rap with that sort of sound was really good. But towards the end, my likes twisted towards other things. So really like that album. And also Quelle Chris. Being You is nice. I wish I could be you more often. Very similar sound, very wacky, very zany. I really like this album. It was in my top 5 for a while. But over time, because it came out so early in the year, it got overtaken by other things. Another one similar, Matt Martians, who's from the internet, The Drum Chord Theory. Very jazzy, very experimental, bit electronic. It's a very fun album. So if you like those sort of sounds, you'll dig it. Definitely fucked with it. This one got number 13. It just missed out. Aiko's On Gaz. It's my number 1 bedroom album of the year. I think that in the bedroom, this album is fucking amazing. I love his vocals. I love his catchiness. The thing about this guy is his music is so catchy. And tracks like Matrix, like Love and Hennessy, Shadows, 4 a.m., like all those sort of tracks are just, they're just so fucking delicious. I love it.
Oh, what a good word.
Final delicious. 2. I really wanted to put in my top 10 because he got like 12 last year as well. So every year this band puts out an album, it just misses out. Jay-Z's 444. The reason this isn't in here, as I've stated before, yeah, look at this man. The reason it's not, because that could be your number 1 quite easily. The reason this isn't in here is purely because of the way Jay-Z rapped in it. I love the production, start to finish.
Kill Jay-Z. You'll never...
It's definitely lyrically amazing, but I personally think that Jay-Z was a little lazy with his delivery in this album. I feel like just the way he rapped over this beats was a way that was a little off kilter at times. He could have rapped better. And as someone that's heard Jay-Z through his albums, from Reasonable Doubt to the Black Album to the Blueprint, he always said he'd rap 8 to 9 to 10 times to get perfect. I don't hear this in this album. I feel like he took 1 or 2 takes and was happy with it. And I think that he could have done better. And that's just my personal preference on this album.
Is that right? He used to do 8, 9, 10 time takes?
He used to do, so he had like a number. It was like, you know how people have like recipes that they do?
Yeah.
I think it's not the right word, but he would do that. He would always do take, and then he'd pick the one that he knew was the best. Whereas I feel like that wasn't done here, because I feel like he was definitely a bit off at times. It was more, I think No Idea was more the master on that album with the production, but definitely shout out to Jay-Z. His lyrics were incredible on it. And last but not least, Kendrick Lamar's Damn.
I knew you were going to do that though.
Gotta.
I understand that more.
I didn't like it as a Kendrick album, but over time I listened to it more. And I think it's definitely one of, if not his best lyrical album. And there's tracks on here that like DNA, Humble, Pride, Fear, Duckworth. Like there are so many tracks in this album that are so fucking incredible. But then there's tracks like Love, God, XXX, which I do not like at all. So that's why it didn't make top albums. But still an incredible amount of work put in this album. Incredible. And that, fucking hell, is my honorable mentions.
That's really interesting. Hey, put your honorable mentions below. We want to see them.
Yeah,
we want to know them. What are your similarities? What are your differences? Who should we be checking out for 2018?
And also, try and guess our top 10. If you guess one of our top 10, I'll send you a motherfucking shirt.
Who's going to pay for that?
I'll pay for it.
Wait, hold on. If they guess the whole top 10?
Nah, just one of ours. But that doesn't have to be in order, but you have to guess our top 10. If you guess one of our top 10s, I'll send you a Jungle Beat shirt.
So but it doesn't have to be in order, it just has to be...
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in order, it just has to be the 10. That'll be hard to get though.
Sheesh.
So if you want to have a bit of fun, try guessing that. Yeah, I'll send you a shirt.
Guess the top 10 to get a Jungle Beats shirt. All right, dope. So, I love that.
Top 10 should be coming out soon. Thanks very much if you've been watching the whole video. If you haven't subscribed already, would appreciate it if you did. And also with our Patreon, which we'll chuck on the screen now. If you want to check that out and give us some more love, then also much appreciated. So yeah.
Top 10 albums coming very soon. If not, they're probably already out now. Check the channel out.
Hey, Jungle motherfucking Beats. Peace out, y'all.
I was in an empty space, affording a love never gave me grace. Spending all my time away, better to want you in retrograde. And how did